you back to the chair and then right. Please, ladies and gentlemen, turn your phones off if she has to say anything. If she does, she will have to come to the video, okay?
I just put it down there. I didn't have it. No. Not quite.
All rise. The Summit County Court of Common Pleas is now in session. The Honorable Allege presiding.
Thank you. Be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know, obviously we have a full house. I wanted to make as much room as possible for everyone that wants to hear the testimony, but I'm going to have to we're going to have to do if you exit, you cannot return. So I'm going to, and I realize we have some people over there by the door. I'm going to staff those individuals over by the door with the task of if somebody leaves, you need to lock the door behind them. So the door needs to be locked now, and I'm trying to discourage any in and out while the testimony is going on. It's very distracting, okay? First of all. Second of all, there are not to be any audible gasps or visible responses from any of the people in the audience regarding any of the testimony. That's, of course, been true all along, but I just want to make sure you understand that if we have a problem like that, that's disrupting, that's distracting to the jury, and it could result in you getting kicked out of the courtroom. Also, there's a strict no cell phone use rule. That means unless you're a member of the press that has previously sought permission to photograph or film the proceedings and has received that in writing with the court, you are not to have a visible cell phone. That means you can't be texting your, even if it's unrelated to the case, you can't have your phone out and be texting, and it's been a constant problem throughout this trial. And so I'm going to task you now that if I see that, I'm going to call you out in the middle of the proceedings, embarrass you, and take your phone. So put those phones away. And then finally, there's a strict no gum chewing rule. So Shay is going to walk that trash can over there with this tissue, just in case anyone has any gum with them right now. This is a courtroom that was built in 1908. This is the original wood, and the court is trying to preserve it. And I'm tired of finding gum under the pews in the back of this courtroom. So please deposit your gum if you have it. Okay? And I think with that we will be able to, or you can swallow it and I won't know you had it. But just so you know. All right, I think we're ready to start. Jenny, can you retrieve those tissues if nobody else is going to need them? Ms. Strickey, can you retrieve those? Bring those back if nobody's going to use them. Yeah, just grab those back. Because I need to have them up by the witness box.
Yes. Just,
Do we have anything else?
it's something very minor that we're put on the...
Let's do it at sidebar.
Okay.
With the captain, with the here. The case, 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 to 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 the case. Okay. The state having concluded its case, the exhibits having been admitted, motions heard and ruled on, we are now ready to proceed. Does the defense wish to call any witnesses?
Your Honor, the defense would call Kenan Ivery.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
In terms of employment, what's your basic work history?
Just a factory where I work at Atlantic Tool and Die, J&R, Akron Steel Heating Treating, things of that nature.
Now, let's talk about a little bit about your family. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 2 children, 2 boys. They are 11 and 12 years old.
Okay. And do either one of them play football or any other sport?
Yes, they both play football, but at the time of the incident, just one did. My oldest, he's 12.
All right. And was he a member of the Ellet youth football team?
Yes.
All right. And let's talk about your mom and dad. Do we have your mom's name?
Cynthia Ivory.
And is she employed?
Yes.
Where does she work?
Akron Public Schools, getting the kids off, on and off the bus.
What about your dad?
He retired from the fire department, 25 years.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Are all your brothers and sisters still with us?
My youngest brother passed away in 2011.
What happened then?
He was murdered.
And has the individual who committed the murder been apprehended yet?
No.
He's still on the loose? Is he still on the loose?
Oh, yes, obviously.
All right. Now, you've got a criminal record. You heard the 2 exhibits that came in the other day. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. 2007, you have a felony conviction. Is that correct?
Correct.
And 2011, you have a felony conviction. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if you have a felony conviction, are you allowed to have a weapon?
No.
And are you allowed to have a weapon in a liquor establishment?
No.
So is it fair to say that you're guilty of weapon under disability and carrying a weapon into a bar or restaurant that has a liquor permit?
Correct.
I'm going to call your attention to November 15th, the evening hours of November 15th, 2014. Were you in the Akron area at that time?
Yes.
Were you in the Ellet area at that time?
Correct.
All right. Sometime during the evening you attend a function.
Yes.
What function do you attend?
It was a fundraiser for my son's football team going to Florida. They were trying to raise money so they could go to Florida.
Why would they be going to Florida?
Because they won the league championship and they got invited to play in the tournament there.
So this fundraiser is being held in the Ellet area, is that correct?
Yes.
And where was it held in the Ellet area?
It was on East Market, at the bingo hall. I don't know the specific address.
Did you attend that fundraiser that night?
Yes.
About what time did you get to the fundraiser?
Got there around a little after 9.
Were you with anybody?
I arrived by myself, but my girlfriend and her mom and dad was there.
And when you get to the fundraiser, do you recognize anybody at the fundraiser?
Yeah, it was football, the coaches, the son's dad, and I recognized Tiffany Miller there too.
And how did you recognize Tiffany Miller?
From being at the bar, Papa Don's.
Now, if you remember, was there anybody with Tiffany?
Yes, it was a male, but I didn't know who he was.
At the fundraiser, did you say anything to Tiffany Miller?
No, not verbally, but I nodded my head to acknowledge her.
Because you recognized her, is that right?
Yes.
Did you say anything to the person that she was with?
No.
Did you later come to find out that the person she was with was Justin Winebrenner?
Yes, later on.
Now, what exactly goes on at the fundraiser?
Well, raffle tickets, people made like special baskets, they were selling necklaces, they had complimentary food, complimentary beer. It was...
All right. Now, how long do you spend, or how much time do you spend at the fundraiser?
Roughly about 11:30 maybe.
All right. Now, you leave the fundraiser then at a certain point in time, presumably around 11:30?
Correct.
And eventually, do you get to where?
Papa Don's.
And how would you describe you as a patron there at Papa Don's?
Well, I go there often. I could say a regular.
All right.
Different times, football games, stuff. Eat food.
And why do you go to Papa Don's?
Their food, basically, mainly. They like the specials they have. Nice TV view right there at the bar. Watch the games and stuff.
Okay. Now, just back up just a little bit to the fundraiser. When you're at the fundraiser, do you have any problems at all at the fundraiser?
No.
All right. No problems with Miss Miller?
No.
No problems with Mr. Weinberger?
No.
When you're at the fundraiser, do you have a weapon with you?
Yes, it's in my car in the trunk.
You don't have it inside bingo ball, do you?
No, I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I don't need it because I'm with my family and the coaches is there and stuff.
Why do you have a weapon anyway, even though you know that it's illegal for you to have a weapon?
For personal protection, and because my brother was murdered in 2011, and I've been robbed 2 times. That's it.
All right, so you leave the fundraiser and eventually you get to Papa Don's, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. When you walk into Papa Don's, do you have a weapon?
Yes, after I left the fundraiser, it was probably an hour, and I got out the trunk and put it on my person.
About what time do you get to Papa Don's?
Maybe between 12:15, 12:30.
Are you keeping a real close track of time?
No.
Any reason to?
Nah.
What kind of mood are you in when you get to Papa Don's?
I was in a great mood because the team got invited to Florida. The prior year they was 1-7, and the year going to Florida was 8-1.
All right, so they went from worst to first, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So, when you walk in to Papa Don's, anything noteworthy happen?
No, just normal.
Okay. And what do you do when you first get into Papa Don's?
Sit down, order my usual wings, plain wings with honey mustard and Arizona ranch on the side, and a drink, and it was 2 females sitting next to me.
What kind of wings did you order?
plain wings with honey mustard on the side and Arizona ranch on the side.
Is that standard fare for you?
Correct.
All right. Okay, now, does there come a point in time you place that order, is that correct?
Yes.
And where are you sitting or standing when you place that order? Show you the chart, which has been marked and admitted as State Exhibit 5. Where are you standing or sitting?
Or
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. You know, we've been referring to the north side and the south side of the bar. How about if we do this? How about if we refer to the patio end of the bar, okay, and the kitchen end of the bar? Fair enough?
yeah,
All right. So you were about to say what?
towards the kitchen.
All right, so you're down in this area someplace?
Correct.
All right, are you standing or sitting?
Sitting.
All right, and let's say starting from the kitchen end of the bar and go in 1, 2, 3, how many seats? Approximately.
That third one.
All right, about right there?
Right.
All right, and what do you do when you sit down at that part of the bar?
Order my food.
All right. Now, how, does the food come right out?
No, it take about 20 minutes. Always, roughly that's how much it takes for the wings to be done.
All right, so what do you do for that 20-minute period to finish?
Well, I actually leave and I didn't have any tobacco on me, so.
Where do you go?
Went to the Sunoco, got me some tobacco.
All right, what kind of tobacco?
I smoke black in my house.
All right, what are those like?
It's just like pipe cigars, cigars with like pipe tobacco in them.
All right. Now, do you return to the bar?
Yes.
About what time?
Roughly about 15 minutes or so.
All right. And what happens, if anything, when you come back in the bar?
Well, it was actually perfect time. As soon as I got back, my wings, she sat and put my wings right in front of me.
All right. Are you having any interaction when you come back in the bar a second time with anybody in the bar?
I don't know wouldn't know their name or nothing like that, but I think it was some people sitting to the left of me,
All right. Females or males?
females.
All right. And do you have a conversation with them?
Yes.
And what's the conversation basically about?
Well, I asked them what they wanted to drink, and one said it was her birthday, and I got them a couple drinks.
Okay. Did you, and you're still looking at your wings or eating your wings at this point in time?
No, I couldn't actually eat them.
Why not?
They was fresh off the grease. It was hot.
So you offered to buy some gals some drinks, is that right?
Correct.
All right. You offered anybody else some drinks?
At that point in time, no.
All right. And so what happens for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, if anything?
Just sitting there conversating.
Okay? Now, does there come a point in time that, first of all, does anybody accept your offer for drinks or shots?
Yeah, they accepted it.
All right. Do you offer anybody else some drinks or shots?
Just them at that time.
All right. Do you ever have a conversation with a woman by the name of Anne-Marie Cusio?
Asked her for, that was later on, but I asked her if she wanted to drink too.
All right. Now, at this point in time, do you know very many people in the bar?
At that time, no.
Now, Mr. Winebrenner and Ms. Miller enter the bar. Are you aware of what time they entered the bar?
No.
Do you know, do you even see them enter the bar?
No.
Right. Are you doing anything besides sitting at the bar talking to some women next to you?
Went to the jukebox for a little bit.
Right. And the jukebox is down in this area. Is that about right?
Correct.
All right. So what do? Go from this seat down here to the jukebox?
Yes.
All right. And what do you do at the jukebox?
Playing songs.
You know how long you're at jukebox?
I couldn't figure out what artists I want. They got a top 40 playlist, and I wanted to have a specific artist, and you got to type in what you want, and maybe 5 minutes, so we'll get it.
All right, this jukebox is something that hangs on the wall, is that correct?
Correct.
It's not like the old style that you press a couple buttons and you hope the record drops down.
No, this was kind of touchscreen a little bit.
So you have to actually ask them if they have that song, is that right?
Yeah, if you want a specific artist or a specific song.
All right, is that what you were doing then at the jukebox?
Correct.
Okay. All right, now, what did Anne Marie Cusio do or say when... And did you ask her again?
Yes.
All right, what'd she say?
That's when she was like, no, stop asking me or I'm getting my boyfriend.
All right. So, at this point in time, you folks are then, what, at the kitchen end of the bar?
Correct.
Somewhere in this area?
Correct.
All right. And what is Ms. Cusio's, she said she's going to go, she said she's going to...
No.
And what do you say, if anything, to her?
Well, I felt it was kind of threatening, you know, because I just asked her for a drink and I was there, I have a 40 on me.
And when you say you've got a 40 on you, is that a 40-ounce bottle of beer?
No.
What is it?
40 caliber pistol.
This is the weapon you brought in the bar
Correct.
when you first got there.
Correct.
All right. And what does she do?
She just kind of takes off, kind of dramatic.
All right. Where did she go?
I kind of watched her take off and she went to a table and it was a black...
How did she get to the table?
How did she ran?
All right. In what way? Down the main aisleway here or some other way?
No, she actually ran behind the bar.
Like this?
Yeah.
All right. Are you watching her as she moves away?
Yeah, because she just takes off running.
Why is that?
I don't know. It was kind of dramatic to me.
All right.
My point of view.
So, where did she stop?
She actually stops at a table with a black male and she get the pointing.
All right. Now, would that black male have been Mr. Wilson that testified last week?
Correct.
All right. And they would have been somewhere in this area?
Correct.
All right. What do you do, if any?
Well, since she was pointing, I didn't know what she was probably telling him. I just went down there to make sure everything was kind of cool.
All right. Now, when you get down there, who do you talk to?
Tiffany was down there.
Was Ms. Cusio also there?
Correct.
Did you talk to her?
No.
All right. Prior to you even going in the bar, did you even know Ms. Cusio?
No.
All right. Now, at any point in time, other than you saying that you had a 40 on you, did you say anything else to her?
No.
Call her any name?
No.
Okay. Did you call her a bitch?
No.
So, you encounter then Miss Miller there at the patio end of the bar, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And what's the subject of that conversation?
Well, she said I called Miss Anne Marie a bitch, and I'm like, I don't even know her to call her, out her name.
And what does Miss Miller say?
She wanted to talk in the back.
All right. Did you get aggressive anyway with Miss Miller or Miss Cusio?
No.
And Miss Miller asked you to go toward the back, is that correct?
Correct.
Back toward the kitchen?
Yes.
All right. Did you comply with her request?
Yes.
All right. And what happens with that conversation, if there was one?
I remember I brought up about the fundraiser that, you know, me and her just at the fundraiser, not together, but, and I stated that I would never do nothing like that. You know, I like this bar, you know, never had a problem ever. And she was like, well, I gotta believe her and ask you to leave.
All right, so, what does Mrs. Miller say to you?
At that point, she was,
Well, first of all, let's make sure we get the location right. About where are you and Miss Miller having this second conversation, if I can call it that? You first meet her down here, is that correct?
correct.
Is that the very first time you ever talked to Miss Miller?
That night, I think so.
Okay. And then where do you guys go?
We go to the back, she went
Back here by the kitchen,
Yes,
this general area?
yes.
All right. And what does she say to you?
Well, she basically believed Anne-Marie and...
Did she tell you that Anne-Marie used to work there?
Not I recall.
All right. How does she refer to Anne-Marie?
A customer.
All right. And what does she say?
She said, I don't mind, or she said, I don't like people disrespecting my customers and ask you to leave.
How do you feel at this time, this point in time?
I was more kind of shocked and, you know, a little disappointed, but that's about it.
Had you ever had any trouble in this bar before?
Never.
How long have you been coming into this bar?
First time I went there was, I think it was about 2012, maybe close to 2013.
All right, so you've been there, I'm going to use numerous times.
Yes.
So, Ms. Miller asked you to leave.
Correct.
Did she do it in a calm way?
Yeah, she was gone.
She angry?
No.
What do you say?
I was like, well, I got some wings. I need a box for my wings.
And what does Ms. Miller say?
She just said, all right.
What happens next?
Go think of sit at the bar and waiting on my tab and stuff.
At this point in time, do you know what Ms. Miller's official position is in the bar?
Just a bartender.
Do you know that she's the manager and the daughter of the owners?
No.
But you recognize her as at least a member of the staff. That's a fair way of putting it?
Correct.
So you recognize that she has some authority. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. And you mentioned you refused to leave.
She said I refused. No, I never said I refused.
You mentioned you had some food.
Yes.
Where's the food at this point in time?
Sitting where I was at the bar.
Did she direct anybody to do anything about that?
I think she asked somebody to get a box. Well, I requested the box, but that's what she asked one of the people working here to get a box for me.
Are you cursing or swearing at any point in time?
No.
And basically, what do you do at this point?
We'll sit down and just waiting for my tab.
You pay your tab?
Yes.
All right. After you pay your bill, what do you do?
I leave.
All right. Now, as you're getting ready to leave, what's your mood at this point?
I'm still kind of shocked, just confused, because I've never been put out of any bar, and especially a bar I like.
Just start to leave.
Can you read that?
Sure. Do you start to leave?
Oh, yes.
Do you speak to anybody as you're leaving?
Yes.
Who do you speak to?
At the time, I didn't know his name, but I recognized.
I was with Tiffany earlier at the fundraiser.
Correct.
Do you know his name at that point in time?
No.
Do you come to find out later that that is Officer Justin Winebrenner.
Yes.
Is he in uniform or is he in street clothes?
Regular clothes.
All right. Now, using Exhibit 5, you were somewhere about what, the third seat in from the kitchen area, is that correct?
Correct.
And where is Mr. Winebrenner?
He was sitting maybe a seat over, maybe two.
All right. Is there anybody between you and Mr. Winebrenner?
I think it was an older fellow.
All right. Did you come late? Did you know him?
No.
Did you come to find out what his name was later?
Yes, Edward Backrell.
All right. So, do you say anything to Mr. Backer?
No.
He's sitting right next to Mr. Winebrenner?
Correct.
All right. And what do you do then, if anything?
Well, since I recognized him from the fundraiser, I was like, hey, man, seen you at the fundraiser with Tiffany. I was there too, and since you were sitting here, did you hear me call anybody a bitch?
All right. And that's to Mr. Winebrenner.
Correct.
And you at this point are where, right here?
Correct.
Approximately. So you're right between Mr. Bachtel and Mr. Winebrenner, is that correct?
Yes.
Which side of Mr. Winebrenner are you on?
It would be
His right or his left?
his left side?
Okay? So that's the Bachtel side.
Yes.
All right? And you asked him a question, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Would you repeat what you told or asked Mr. Winebrenner?
Well, I said, I seen you at the fundraiser with Tiffany, and, I was there too, and since you've been sitting here, have you heard me call anybody a bitch?
Did Mr. Winebrenner respond in any way?
He could have been, you probably won't hear it on tape, but he was like, nah.
All right. And did he do anything else?
No.
But how long did you, if you can remember, how long was your conversation with Mr. Winebrenner?
That I don't know.
So that was that the very first time that you spoke to Mr. Winebrenner that night?
Yes, correct.
Is that the only time you spoke to Mr. Winebrenner that night?
Yeah.
So, what do you do next?
I leave.
All right? Do you storm out?
No.
Do you break anything on the way out?
No.
You yelling at a person when you went out?
No.
Kick the door open when you went out?
No.
What do you do when you get outside?
Go outside, go to my car, and proceed to head home.
When you're in there talking to Mr. Winebrenner, let's back up a little bit. Are you threatening him in any way?
No.
You don't even know him, is that right?
Correct.
You just know that he was a person, let's say, at least at that point in time, you know him to be an escort, at least, of Ms. Miller, is that correct?
Yeah, and he was at the fundraiser, and most likely we probably know the same people.
All right. When you leave the bar after speaking with Mr. Winebrenner, do you take your wings with you?
No.
Why not?
I forgot him. I was kind of, the mind wasn't on him, confused and shocked. Really just replaying the night, and replaying the act Anne Marie put on.
So you're a little shook up. Is that a fair way of capsulizing it?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. When you get to the parking lot,
Get in my car.
where do you go, if anywhere?
I was about to head home.
About how far do you live? You're in Denison, is that right?
Correct.
About how far is Denison from Papa Don's Farm?
Give and take maybe 6, 8 minutes or so, maybe.
Are there stop signs and traffic lights along the way?
Correct.
Normal streets?
Yes.
You don't get on the expressway at any point, do you?
No, I can't get on the expressway for times.
And so, what happens on your way home? You get home?
No, actually, get maybe, I'm at the light for a little bit, and I get maybe a mile, a half a mile, if that. And that's when I realized I forgot my food at the bar.
So what do you decide to do next?
I turn around and head back to the bar.
Why do you go back to the bar? You just been, I've heard the phrase, kicked out a couple of times. You weren't actually thrown out of the bar, were you?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it kicked out, say asked to leave.
And you left.
Correct.
Mr. Miller asked you to leave, you left.
Correct.
So you go back to the bar even though you were told to leave.
Yeah, just to see if my food was still there. I wasn't going back long.
When you left the bar, were your wings still on the bar?
Correct.
To the best of your knowledge, when you walked out the door, were the wings still on the bar?
Yes.
Did you have any reason to believe when you drove away that your wings had been removed?
No.
So you're sitting in the light and say, oh, forgot my wings, I'm going to go back to my wings.
Correct.
You turn around and drive back?
Yes.
You come speeding into the parking lot, sideways, tires squealing?
No.
So you've seen the video, is that right, of your car coming back in?
Correct.
All right. What kind of car do you have?
At the time, it was a 2004 Dodge Sebring,
What color is it?
navy blue.
That's your car?
Correct.
All right. Is that where you parked it?
Yep.
All right. You parked your car right next to the building, is that right?
Yes.
It's just about opposite, I think, their kitchen door. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Not too far from the front door, is it?
Not too far.
Maybe 3 or 4 parking spaces?
Yes.
You turn the car off when you park it?
Yes.
You park it nose in,
Yeah, facing.
face the building.
Yes.
You turn the key off.
Yes.
You take the keys out of the ignition.
Yes.
Do you do anything else in the front while you're sitting in the front of the car?
Just get out, and get my phones out the car, and go in the building.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I believe the state and the defense has a stipulation that we've agreed to. And that stipulation is that when, I think it's Detective Morrison, inventories the car after the shooting, he finds 2 cell phones on the front seat of Mr. Ivery's car.
State stipulating to that?
Your Honor, I would like some time to read the report. I believe we'll eventually enter into that stipulation that we could, at this point, we can stipulate that there are 2 phones inside the vehicle, yes.
Thank you, sir. All right. How many cell phones did you have to begin with?
I think maybe 3.
Okay? And when you get out of the car, there are still some cell phones still in the car, is that correct?
Correct.
Where would they be?
On the seat,
Which seat?
the passenger seat.
Front of the car?
Yes.
And do you take anything with you, aside from your keys, when you get out of the car?
Yes, phone.
All right? What kind of phone is it?
Like a flip phone.
All right?
It's a cheap phone.
All right. Why do you have so many phones?
Well, it was cheap, and actually I had gotten a Kmart $4.99, and it was track phones, and once the minute was going to go out, I was going to give them to my kids and my nephews and nieces.
All right? Now, what do you do with the phone?
Put it in my pocket.
Which pocket?
Right.
Right front, right back, which?
Right front.
Okay? If the court will allow, would you stand up, please?
Yes.
Just stay there. Just stand up.
That's fine.
All right. Let's get the geography down here. All right. When you get out of the car, this is your car, correct?
Correct.
That's the blue one. You get out on the driver's side, is that right?
Correct.
All right. And where or when do you put the cell phone away?
When I get out the car.
Right about here by the driver's door?
Yes.
And what do you do with the cell phone? Demonstrate.
It's actually flipped over, it's not closed.
Okay?
I close it onto my pocket.
All right. Please have a seat. After you put the cell phone in your pocket, where do you go next?
Go to the bar.
All right. And you go in front of the car, behind the car, which way?
I think it was behind the bar.
Something like this, over towards, would this be the front door?
Yes, correct.
All right. Now, once again, Ms. Miller, who you perceive to be a person of authority, has told you to leave, that you're coming back 5 minutes later.
Yes, correct.
At this point in time, are you looking for trouble?
No, I'm just hoping my wound's still at the bar.
You still have a weapon with you?
Yes.
And where is it?
It's in my waist.
Which side?
Right, covered up, jacket in my shirt. It's a 4X shirt.
You get to the door then. Anything between the car and the door? Anything noteworthy happened there?
No.
When you leave the door, when you leave the bar, and you get to the stoplight, it's a couple of minutes down the road.
Well, the light was a minute or two. So.
All right. But what I'm getting at is, you're on your way home. Why don't you keep going?
I want my wound.
All right. Do you normally order those wings when you go into Papa John's?
Yeah, I love the wings. Wings is actually my favorite food, and I get the plain wings with Arizona ranch and honey mustard on the side.
John, Judge, at this point in time, Mr. Gray is going to operate the computer with the court's permission. Judge, can we have the lights down?
Sure. You know, right now?
First of all, Mr. Ivery, can you see that screen from where you're sitting?
Do you want the lights dimmed right now?
If I could, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can see it.
We're going to improve the angle a little bit here. Can you move this towards that? Yeah. I want to make sure the jurors can see it. You can stand on this side. I'm blocking somebody. Can all the jurors see this screen? Next question. Mr. Ivory, can you see the screen?
Correct.
Any problems at all?
Nah.
Can you move it just a little more? The jury still okay? How about you, Mr. Ivory?
Yeah, I can see
A
it.
little better?
Yeah.
All right. Any problems with seeing the screen at all?
No.
All right. All right. The time on this computer, the date stamp is 1:53:01. Now, what does that mean to you? What time of day or night is that?
Well, in the morning.
Right. If I were to suggest it's about 7 minutes before 2 in the morning,
Yes.
does that refresh your memory?
Yes.
All right. Now, the inside of this bar, this picture, does that refresh your memory?
Yes.
Does that look like the inside of Papa Don's the night you were in here?
Yes.
All right. Now, it's 1:53:01. Right about here, you recognize that person?
Yes.
Who would that be?
That's me.
All right. Coming through the bar, through the door, is that correct, in the bar?
Correct.
All right. Mr. Ivory, who's this right here?
That's me.
All right? Now, do you know who this person is right here?
At the time, I didn't.
All right, did you come to find out later on who that person is?
Yes, Mr. David Wakati.
All right?
Can I ask if Mr. Greco could grab a chair and sit, if that's possible, just because I think you may be obstructing the view of the jurors.
Mr. Grevin's going to have to pop up and down.
That's fine,
an awful lot.
that's fine.
All right, so we have a person you later find out to be Mr.
Wakati.
Wakati. Right. Describe his physical presence.
He's huge.
All right. Now, this person right here is what I call a faded orange. Do you know who that is or was?
At the time, no.
All right. And who did you find out later who this person is or was?
Yes,
Who would that be?
David Eisel.
Okay? I'm going to go down the bar a little bit, right about there. Do you know who that person is?
At the time, I didn't.
All right? Did you come later on to find out that was Mr. Winebrenner?
Yes,
Was that the same person that you had a brief conversation with as you were leaving the bar?
yes.
All right. John. Now, at this point in time, is there any conversation going on with anybody between you and anybody else?
Yes, I was about to proceed to ask Tiffany if my wings was at the bar, and
Now, when you come in, this is the front door, is that right?
correct.
You come straight in, you come about where Mr. Eisel is right there?
No, I go, they're off on my left.
All right, you come in, but you don't go straight in, is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm going to come straight in.
All right, you come in and go which way?
Towards my wings, very to the left.
All right, so you're coming over this way.
Correct.
And who's in your way?
See it, Big Dave.
All right? You and Dave have any conversation?
Yeah, he just said, don't fucking touch her or talk to her again or I'll kick your black ass.
All right. Do you know who he's talking about?
At that time, no.
All right. And what do you say, if anything?
I mean, he's big. I just was like, bro. You know, I'd step back and,
Do you have anything in your hands?
no.
Okay? All right. At this point in time, you've taken a step back, is that right?
Correct.
All right. And is there anybody between you and Mr. Wakati at this point?
Yes.
Whom would that be if you recognize that person?
Tiffany Miller.
All right. And is Tiffany talking to you or is she talking to Mr. Wakati?
Wakati.
She's got her back to you, is that right?
Correct.
Has Mr. Wakati said anything more to you?
I can't recall. It's just, I know he's talking real hostile. She looked like she's trying to calm him down.
All right. All right, at a point in time, do you do anything with respect to your coat?
Yes, I lifted my jacket up
And why do you lift your jacket?
to show him that I don't want him to mess with me. I had a weapon on me.
All right. And who are you showing that to?
Wakati.
What does he say? If
I
anything.
don't even think he see it at this point. He said he just still running up like a mom.
All right. Is Miss Miller still got her back to you?
Yes.
All right. Is she talking or addressing Mr. Wakati?
Yeah, trying to calm him down.
Right? What type of condition is Mr. Wakati in?
And he's kind of slurring his words.
All right? at this point in time, what do you do?
I back up again because he's still, talking hostile, and I just let him know I didn't want any problems.
All right, what do you do?
Just that back.
All right. You do anything with your coat tail?
Yeah, I lifted up again.
So this is the second time.
Correct.
All right. Have you drawn that weapon at all at this point in time?
No.
All right. And Mr. Winebrenner, what is he doing?
He's just sitting there.
All right. Is he facing you folks?
No, he ain't paying no attention.
All right. All right. So, at 1:53 and 27 seconds, do you raise your hand anywhere or point anywhere?
No, I kind of lift my shirt up on my jacket.
Okay? And at this point in time, is Miss Miller facing you now?
Yes, now she's facing me.
All right. And have you pulled your weapon at this point in time?
No.
All right. Right behind you, physically speaking, what is right behind you?
It's a table in the wall.
Okay. The table is sitting in kind of an L in the wall. Is that the fair way of putting it?
Yes, correct.
And the wall is then right behind the table?
Correct.
All right. About how far behind you is the wall?
I'd probably say maybe 3 feet, maybe.
Okay. Now, you just raised your right hand in a forward direction. What are you doing that for?
I'm just saying, man, I'm just here to see my wings here, man. I kind of point towards the bar.
Okay? And you use your right hand to point toward the bar?
Correct.
All right. And at this point in time, is Mr. Wakey still in front of you?
Yes.
All right. Is Mr. Eisel still at the end of the bar?
Correct.
Mr. Winebrenner appears to be facing the back of the bar. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Yes.
Are Mr. Eisel and Mr. Winebrenner involved in this at all at this point?
No.
So at this point in time, what are you doing?
I kind of create some distance between me and Mr. Wakati.
All right, and which direction are you moving?
I'm heading to the bar.
All right. Are you moving right or left?
I'm going to the left.
All right. Is that where the bar is?
Yes.
And was that the last place you remember your wings being?
Yes.
All right. At this point in time, are you looking around at all?
No.
What are you focused on?
Mr. Wakati.
Now, Mr. Wakati hasn't moved too much. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Correct.
All right. You have moved to the left. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Correct.
All right. Has Mr. Eisel made any move at this point in time?
No.
What is Mr. Winebrenner doing now?
At that time, I don't even see him getting up out of his seat because I'm facing Mr. Wakati.
Right. You're still focused on the big guy.
Yeah.
All right. And has Mr. Winebrenner left his seat?
Yes.
And which direction is he moving toward?
Me. Put his hands out.
All right. And which side is that?
That would be my left side.
All right. All right. We're at 1:53, 44 seconds. Mr. Ivery, are you basically in the same spot?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Wakati is basically the same spot.
Yes.
And Mr. Winebrenner is where?
Now he's physically touching me, and he's onto my left side.
Are his arms in front, out in front of him, so to speak?
Yes.
And has he touched you at this point in time?
Yes.
All right. Do you know where he's touching you?
He's kind of like my waist.
All right. All right, now, Mr. Wakati is still basically in the same spot, is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Now, Mr. Eisel has left the bar, is that correct?
Correct.
Is he proceeding, or what direction is he proceeding?
At the time, I didn't, it seemed like he came from nowhere, but he's coming towards me.
All right. Now, Mr. Winebrenner is where?
He's on me.
All right. How far away is he?
He's inches. He's on me.
All right. You're basically face to face, is that a fair way of putting it?
Well, I'm still kind of focused on Wakati too.
All right. All right. Now, are there any shots fired at this point?
No.
All right. Have you drawn your weapon at this point?
No.
Okay. Mr. Eisel is moving closer to your little group, is that correct?
Correct.
Wakati is basically in about the same spot,
Correct.
and Mr. Winebrenner is on your left.
Yes.
Is that a fair way of putting it?
Yes.
All right. Is there any talk going on at this point in time?
At this time, I can't recall. It just seems like so much going on. Now I'm kind of focused on Wakati, and I got a gentleman to my left. I don't even know for what.
All right. At 1:58 and 47, what Mr. Eisel has gotten closer to your group.
Correct.
Wakati is somewhat in front of you, is that fair?
Yes.
Mr. Winebrenner is on your left, correct?
Yes.
And is there a wall to your back?
Yes.
All right. John. All right. So, what's going through your mind right now?
Right now, fear.
You have at least two people in front to your left, is that correct?
Correct.
There's a person closing in on your right, which, do you notice that person at this time?
At that time, I don't even see him coming.
All right? But you indicated you're now afraid, is that right?
Yes.
Uh, 1:53 and 49 seconds. Is it fair to say Mr. Winebrenner is on your left? Right up about here.
Yes.
Mr. Wakati is in your front. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mr. Eisel is to your right. Is that correct?
Correct.
There is a wall to your back. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are you surrounded?
Yes.
Can you leave at this point in time?
No, now that's when I noticed ice right there. I can't even leave.
Right. You're boxed in, is that a fair way of putting it?
Correct.
All right, at 1:53 and 51 seconds. Any shots been fired?
No.
All right. And we have, it's a little blurry, but that is it. Who's this person right here?
That's big family, but
Mr. Wakati?
yeah.
And is it fair to say that is Mr. Winebrenner still on your left?
Yes, he's grabbing right now.
All right. And Mr. Eisel is pretty close to you?
Correct.
Any shots fired at this point in time?
No.
All right, at 1:53 and 52, you appear to be moving backwards, is that correct?
Yeah, kind of forced backwards, yes.
And why are you moving backwards?
Because Winebrenner was reaching.
All right, Mr. Wokai is still your front. Now Mr. Isel is where?
He's on my right, on me,
All right. How far away?
touching me, grabbing me.
All right. All right, at 1:53, what's happening now?
Now I'm almost being thrown over a table.
By whom?
ISO.
Okay. He's grabbed you, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you grab him at any point in time?
No.
Is there any shots been fired at this point?
No.
Okay. All right. At this point in time, you've been what?
Assault.
Well, what's happening to you?
I'm over a table.
All right. And who's pushed you over the table?
ISO and I think Winebrenner.
Okay. Now, at this point in time, is your weapon out?
Yes.
All right. And why do you try the weapon?
Because they was reaching and I didn't want them to get it. So
What did you think?
they'd take it and kill me.
All right. At 1:53:54, what is happening to you?
Now I'm off balance, I'm off the ball,
What direction are you moving?
I'm going backwards.
Okay. And a little tough to see, but do you know where Mr. Isel is? See this area right here?
Yeah, he still got his hand on my hand.
Is this Mr. Wakati right here?
Yes.
The gentleman with the ball, what I'll call a ball cap, is right there.
Yes. That's Winebrenner.
This one right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is at 53:55.
Yes.
That you right there?
Yes.
And what position are you in?
I'm falling back. My balance is gone.
And where is Mr. Isel, if you know?
In front of me still got a hold of me.
And this person that's, I'll say, leaning in, who is that?
I think that's Dave.
This person, it's a little blurred, but he appears to have a cap on. Who would that be?
Justin Winebrenner.
And where is he?
Still in the same position on towards my left.
All right. At this point in time, it's 53, it's still 55. And what position are you in?
I'm farther back. Still, yeah.
And who is this right here?
As you, it's looking like Winebrenner?
All right. Is that person here have a ball cap on?
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Isel, can you tell this border right here?
Yes, his hands.
He still got his hand on you?
Yes.
All right. And now, is this you partially out the front door?
Yes, backwards.
Okay. you hear anything unusual at that point in time?
I heard him scream.
Is that you with that loud yell?
Yes.
As you're falling backwards over the table?
Yes.
Are there more shots fired?
Yes.
Judge, will you have the lights, please? We've seen on the video that you're falling backwards through the door, is that correct?
Yes.
What happens next?
I'm still feeling hands going for my weapon, and that's when I really feared for my life.
All right. When you were surrounded before the shots were fired?
Yeah, I was feared, but once I was falling, that's when my fear hit its highest point. That's when I screamed.
All right. What happens when you're outside?
I fall outside, and the gun would fall out of my hand, and I take off running because I was scared they would shoot me with my gun.
Why'd you run?
My gun fell out of my hand, and I was scared. They'd pick it up and shoot me in the back.
Where do you run to?
I didn't know, but at the time, I didn't feel it until I got like around that bend. My leg was hurt, and I just ran to get away from there.
Still afraid?
Yeah, because they got my gun.
So is it fair to say that you've been afraid from the moment you were surrounded by three big white guys with your back to a wall?
Yes.
And that continued, is that correct?
Yes.
Does it continue while you're still running?
Yes.
Where do you run to?
At the time, I didn't know where, but it's a field.
When you're in the field, what happens there?
I lay down because I couldn't run no more. My leg was hurting.
Now, your leg is hurt. Why is it that your leg is hurt?
Because when I hit the ground outside, my knee and felt like my Achilles was kind of messed up.
All right. Immediately after the shots were fired, or while the shots were fired, you were going backwards through the front door, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And do you land someplace outside the front door?
Yes.
About where?
It's kind of like a slope, so that kind of twisted my turn, but like in the middle.
Between the red car and the black car?
Yes.
All right. And you hit the ground, is that right?
Yeah.
And what part of your body hits the ground first?
I can't tell you. I know I had bruises everywhere, knee, elbow.
All right.
I know.
And so you hit the ground, is that right?
Yes.
Then what happens?
I do remember somebody flying, like a jump tackle, and I don't know if I was sustained maybe that knee injury from there. I hit the ground again.
All right. Then where do you go?
I get up and I take off.
All right. And if you go this direction or this direction?
No, I go towards the street.
All right. If this is East Market Street, you run then in that direction.
Yes.
All right. And why don't you go to your car?
I was scared that it would take too much time to lock the door, get in the car, start it up, back up, and they got my gun.
All right. As you're going through, let me back up a little bit. You've testified you've been grabbed by Mr. Ice.
Yes.
He drags you back over this table, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And then you're falling backwards into this area, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. You wear glasses, is that correct?
Yes.
Were you wearing glasses that night?
Yes.
What happened to your glasses? Did you still have them?
No.
All right. Where do you think you lost your glasses?
I think in the bar.
All right. What, somewhere around the front door?
Yeah.
All right. That about the time Mr. License grabbed you?
Yes. It could have been over the table. I don't know, but I know if anyone wears glasses, and you take your glasses off real quick, things get real blurry.
Are things moving pretty quick at this point in time?
Yes.
All right. So you run to a field across East Market Street.
Yes.
What happened next?
Laying in the field, and I called my girlfriend and see if she could come get me because, I'm scared they got a gun and they might be out there looking for me.
At this point in time, do you know that a police officer has been shot?
No.
Do you know if anybody's been shot?
No.
What happened next?
Like I said, tried to call my girlfriend for some help, and I didn't know exactly where I was at. I knew it was like a freeway, so I couldn't tell her no specific place. And maybe 20 minutes or so, the police shined a light on me while I was laying down.
The policeman alone?
I couldn't see in the car because the light was shining, and immediately I seen, I think two approaching me, one with a dog.
Do you hear any of the police officers say anything?
Let me see your hands, but my hands was already out.
Where were your hands? Demonstrate.
I was laying in a plane position, like this.
Were you on your back or laying on your stomach?
I was laying on my stomach.
So that'd be face down?
Yes.
Your hands were out to the side?
Yes, because I had a couple of dog bites on my hands, too.
All right. And so does the dog come on you?
Yeah, immediately.
And where does he grab you?
I felt him on my lower leg, and I'm scared of dogs, so I just kind of braced myself, and he was biting me for a while. And I didn't say anything at first because I'm just scared, but eventually he was both legs, kind of, my buttocks, my hands.
As a result of the dog bites, did you go to the hospital?
Yes,
How long were you in the hospital?
I think like 2 days.
When the dog is biting you, are there other officers around?
Yes.
And are they doing anything?
They pulled the dog off, and that's when I received kicks and punches and stuff.
Did they say anything to you?
Yeah, they said, you shot a cop. And
Is that the first time you knew that?
yes,
You were then put, what, in an ambulance or an EMS vehicle?
I think they might knock me out. I don't know.
Mr. Ivory, do you have anything else to say?
Yes, this is something I've been wanting to say for a long time.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Just ask a question, Mr. O'Brien.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Let's go sidebar.
No questions, Mr. Ivory? At a point in time when you were asked to leave the bar, you leave, is that correct?
Yes.
Nothing dramatic at that point?
No.
And you head home, is that correct?
I was headed, yes.
Turn around and come back, is that correct?
Yes.
When you were coming back, what was your avowed purpose or intent when you came back in the bar at about 1:53:007?
Just hoping my wings were still there, not looking for no trouble.
Did you tend to hurt anybody when you came back in the bar?
No.
Sir, thank you. Nothing further.
Should we take a break now?
If you want, Judge.
I think it's 10:37, so I think that's probably appropriate time. All right, so I'm going to remind everyone you're not to discuss this case amongst yourselves. You're not to permit anyone to discuss it in your presence. Don't investigate this case in any fashion, and don't make any final decisions until you've heard all of the evidence. And be back in the courtroom at, let's just say 5 minutes to 11. I'm sorry, back in the courtroom. All right?